What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Misplayed Magic, the only Magic the Gathering YouTube channel doing giveaways based on how I draft. You'll see on the screen here, if I get 0 wins, I'm giving away a collector pack. All the way down to 7 wins, I'll be giving away a draft to one of you. I have made 4 videos. I've given away 3 drafts. All you have to do is like this video, leave a comment down below, what did I do well, what could I probably have done better, and subscribe to the channel. I hardly have any. If you're around, if you're watching this and you want a free draft, gyms are expensive, hop along this ride and hopefully we can have another fun one here. Alright, hopping into this first pack, our rare is the Clarion Conqueror. Activated abilities cannot be activated, either mine or mine opponents, which is a totally fine rare. I don't think it's fantastic. I think it's okay. 3/3 flyers, never that bad. We've also got the Descendant of Storms, which is a really great creature in all of the Boros aggro decks. Skirmish Rhino is okay. Sultai Monument is alright as well. Shock Brigade is a good creature in some of the aggressively slanted Boros decks as well as some fixing here. But I think that we are just going to go with the Clarion Conqueror here. It's boring, it's not fantastic, but it is a dragon. I do think white is set up just fine, and so that's going to be our pick out of this first pack. Looks like they wanted us to take a Descendant of Storms, so we could go that route here. Other considerations in the pack, the rolling Dragonstorm is a fantastic payoff if we do end up taking a lot of dragons. So we might take that here. We've also got a Stormplane Detainment, is a fantastic white removal spell, just kind of a catch-all, removes everything. And we've also got the Dragonstorm Globe as well as the Scoured Barrens if we wanted to move into the realm of any fixing. I think for us, I'm most interested in this rolling Dragonstorm. I think it pairs well with the Clarion Conqueror, and if we get any other dragons, it's going to be fun as well. Here I'm going to also go with another Dragonstorm card. We have a dragon, we have 2 Dragonstorms. What could possibly go wrong? But I think this one is great. I think if we end up in a more aggressively slanted deck, it can be really strong to make a couple of white soldier tokens, and then we'll have to really keep an eye out for other dragons. The Breaching Dragonstorm is good as well, followed by Evolving Wilds and the Red-White Land. But we're going to go with the Teeming Dragonstorm here, and hopefully we can see some dragons come our way. Alright, jumping into this next pack, we've got a couple of considerations. I do think the Effortless Master is good. I also just love the art on this card, but I don't think this is necessarily wants to bring us into red. So I'm between the Exhale and the Coordinated Maneuver, and I'm going to go with the Dispelling Exhale here as more of a controlling card. Here I'm more than happy picking up a Focus the Mind. I don't think any of these cards are strong enough to pull us away from our kind of blue and white start here. I think Focus the Mind is really strong. We also could take a Fortress Kingguard. It's just a solid 2-mana creature, but I think having Focus the Mind is going to be a little bit stronger here. Here we're between a couple of things. We could take the Yathan Roadwatcher, which is really strong if we end up in a Abzan deck. I don't really think we want to be doing that, just based on the cards that we've gotten so far. We could take the Sandstep Citadel, which is good fixing for that. But here in between, we could take a Rebellious Strike, which is okay, a Stormstreak Feral, or a Swiftwater Cliffs, or an Agent of Kotus. I'm going to take the Stormstreak Feral. It just goes with the Dragonstorm cards we already have. And so I think that having that alongside is going to be all right here. I'm not a huge fan of the Starry-Eyed Skyrider or the Hardened Tactician here. I think that we're just going to go with the Monastery Messenger. Not a fantastic pack. Actually, I'm going to take the Earthcarver. I'm not a huge fan of the Messenger, and the Earthcarver I have been impressed with so far. So we could take the Effortless Master or the Devoted Duelist. I think we are going to actually take the Effortless Master. Now we will possibly be in a Jeskai type of deck. We'll take a Rebellious Strike as a fine white spell. Not loving this pack either. We'll take a Meticulous Artisan. Not a huge fan of that card. Here we'll take some fixing in the Windscarred Crag. And it looks like there's a lot of mediocre cards that are coming back around. I do think we have a decent enough kind of Jeskai Dragonstorm base here, and hopefully we can pick up some more pieces to that in the coming packs. We will take another Rebellious Strike. I doubt we'll play 2 of those. Ooh, I would like to pick the first 3 cards out of this pack. So we've got Anafinza, which I enjoy a lot. It's kind of a fun control-y card. We've also got Static Snare, which is a really, really strong removal spell, and then Fresh Start, which is also really great. We've also got Stormplane Detainment, the Durager Island Dragon, which would also be really great if we're doing the Dragon route here. But I think we have to pick one of these first 3 cards. We currently have got 3 creatures and 6 non-creatures. So we're going to go with Anafinza here. And I do think Static Stare is fantastic. We're going to go with Anafinza. I still like it enough to warrant picking it here. Now we're really excited to pick up a Jeskai Shrinekeeper. We wouldn't mind really picking up a couple of these as kind of the perfect top-end dragon to what we've got so far. Picking that one quickly here. Now we can take another Clarion Conqueror, which, again, we don't really have any activated abilities, so that would be pretty good. And then other considerations, we could take another Dispelling Exhale. We could also take a Dragonstorm Globe, but I think we're fine playing 2 Clarion Conquerors here. Now we've got, wow, these packs are juiced. So many cards I want out of here. I'm between either the Quarry Mountain Stalwart is a fantastic 3-drop. If you can activate it once, it feels good. Twice, it feels great, in my opinion. I don't know how aggressively we want to be in red, so I'm actually leaning more towards either taking the Stormplane Detainment or the Swiftwater Cliffs. Or maybe we just go full-on Jeskai, and we take the card that's the most fun in the Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Yeah, I'm going to do it. What the heck? Let's do it. We'll figure out the mana later, and we'll hopefully pick up another better lane later. Here we're going to take another Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Could take a Loxodon Battle Priest as a top end, but I kind of want to save that spot for dragons if we get any more. The Narset's Rebuke is also fantastic, but I think having 2 Quarry Mountain Stalwarts is going to be pretty good here. We do have a lot of 3s. Maybe I do want to take the Narset's Rebuke instead. We should have so many 3-mana creatures. Let's do it. Let's take the Narset's Rebuke. We need a really solid removal spell. That one's been performing really strongly. Now we've got our consideration between a couple of good cards. I think for us it's just going to be the Devoted Duelist here. We could also take a High Spire Bellringer, a Poised Practitioner, or a Rescue Leopard. None of which I think we're going to be super excited to play. So here we could take another Focus the Mind. We could take a Shocking Sharpshooter, which I really think is at its best if you're playing Mardu. So we're just going to take the Tranquil Cove here and try to show up our mana base as best as we can. Now we'll take another Focus the Mind. I think we're more than happy playing 2 of those. And it's going away a bit as we get into this pack, but we'll take a free Fire Rim Form here as a decent enough combat trick. Here we'll take another Narset's Rebuke. Another Duelist is fine by me. Here we will take a Humbling Elder, which we might play. Creature and non-creature counts at 10 and 10 now. But I think we like this start. We'll take a Riverwalk Technique. I'm just not a huge fan of the Messenger. So we're going to take that here. We do have a pretty expensive top end of our curve here, so we're going to really start to eye some cheaper cards in this last pack. We do have a lot of 3 mana plays and beyond here. And now we're looking at, we could take a B'Tor. It's in B'Tor. It's in none of the colors we are. We would be splashing black and green. I love this card so much. If we had opened it, we would have gone that way, but I just don't think we want to. Under these conditions. So I'm looking at either a Sibsig Appraiser, just a really solid card in the middle of our curve. We could take another Effortless Master, which would be good if we can do some double spelling. Or we could take a Veteran Ice Climber as a really solid 2 mana play. I think we're going to go with the Effortless Master here. I don't mind having 2 of those. Moving into this next pack, we've got the Mardu Siegebreaker as a really solid Mardu card. It's probably not going to be us. I don't think so, at least. That would be so wrong if we took that card. I'm not going to take that card. It would be fun, though. No, I can't do it. Furious Forebear is a fantastic 2-drop. Coordinated Maneuver is good, and the Stormshriek Feral is another really good dragon. I'm thinking about just looking at our curve right now. I think we want to take another 2-drop, so we're going to take the Furious Forebear here. But I can see an argument made for the dragon or also the fun Mardu card there. Here, I think we're most interested in picking up the Jeskai Devotee as just a way to show up our mana base a bit. Another 2 mana play is never bad. Here we're very happy getting a Glacial Dragon Hunt passed to us. Stormshriek Feral also would be decent with all of the Dragonstorms that we have. But I think we're more than happy playing the Glacial Dragon Hunt here. Now we will take a Durdra Island Dragon. Was hoping to get one more kind of top-end dragon for the top of our curve. Here we'll take another Highspire Bellringer. I don't think we're going to play any of the cards in this pack, which is okay. Now I will take a Jeskai Monument. I do think our deck doesn't necessarily have to curve out to win. Here, we'll take a Brushmaster. It has not been performing super well, but I think this card is fun, so we're going to take it. We're going to play it. All right, moving into this next pack, I think we'll take another Focus to Mind. I don't think we're going to play that card, but you never know. We will take another Stormshriek Feral. We might end up playing it. I do like the Omen side a decent amount, especially in Jeskai decks. Of just getting to filter through your deck a little bit. But probably not going to be playing any of these last cards that are wheeling around here. Alright, so here is the final deck we're going to be rocking with today. It is a blend of just a ton of Jeskai cards that I think look fun. We've got the Jeskai Monument for some fixing, a couple of dual lands, so mana is definitely going to be a little bit of an issue here. But the final count is we're rocking with 15 creatures, 8 non-creatures, a couple of rolling and teaming Dragonstorm cards, and then a lot of dragons kind of at the top end here, and also kind of snuck in the middle here. So hopefully we'll get some value out of those, and we can see if we can get a couple wins here. Alright, jumping into game number 1 here, our opponent is going first. I do think us being able to get these Dragonstorm cards going early is going to be advantageous. So we're going to keep this, and hopefully we can't get a Plains in our first couple of draws here. Our opponent is going and fetching a forest. It's going to be a forest. I can feel it. Mountain, obviously.
Stupid!
Opponent is fetching a mountain. So they don't have a 2-mana play here. We're just going to play our Roiling Dragonstorm. And we find our Plains, which is fantastic. I do think we actually want the mountain, the island. So we want the mountain more than the island, so we're going to discard the island here. And then next turn we can play out a number of things. I think we're going to start by playing the Quarry Mountain Stalwart. It just blocks really well on the Nurturer and the token. And then next turn we can play out the Teeming Dragonstorm and hopefully get a little bit of value. I'm going to block here just because if they use a trick, it's out of their hand, and we have a lot of backup for whatever tricks they might have. So we're fine with that. We end up only taking 1, and then now we're more than happy just playing out our Teeming Dragonstorm. Next turn we can play the Shrine Keeper, and then pick up both of our Dragonstorm cards, which feels really strong. Looks like they are stuck looking for an island. So we're going to play an island here, and then we're just going to play our Shinekeeper, returning both of those to our hand, and then we will just attack, gain a life, and draw a card. Awesome. It's going well so far. Hopefully our opponent does not draw an island. So they're going to detain our Shinekeeper. So now I do think we want to play out the teaming Dragonstorm, followed by this one. I think I'm fine discarding the Humbling Elder if we need to. Yeah, let's do that. And then next turn we can double spell into an Effortless Master and start to get a little bit more aggressive. So they did get their island, so they're going to play the Shinekeeper next turn. All-out Assault is good. So they're tapped out. I do think we want to get pretty aggressive with our blocks here, just to minimize our damage. So we kind of clear the board that way. They're going to play a Shinekeeper next turn, but we just have access to a ton of mana here. So we're going to rebuild our board by playing a Forebear and then the Effortless Master. And then next turn we can do any number of things. I think we're fine with him getting one card out of the Shinekeeper. So we can start by getting rid of that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and play our other Effortless Master here. So we've got 2 6/5s. I do think we're going to play out our Mountain here, and then we will attack everywhere. Hopefully they don't have another Shinekeeper in hand, but I think the board looks pretty good for us now. And we've got 2 ways to pick up either one of our Dragonstorm cards as well, so pretty good situation we're in. So our opponent's going to play the Twin Maw Stormbrood as a good removal spell here, and exile our Forebear. So really strong turn out of our opponent to kind of clear the way a little bit here. I think we are more than happy just playing out one of our dragons here and picking up both of those cards. And then we're presenting lethal next turn if they don't get at least 2 creatures down, or 1 with reach, which they do. Sonic Shrieker is pretty good. We're going to discard... It's a good question. I think we're going to discard the Dragon Hunt just because we can play it from our graveyard. And then I do think we want to do this. We'll get to draw a card, and then we can play the Stormshriek Feral and pick it up again. And I do think we're just going to go for maximum attacks here. Just to do as much damage as we can and try and present lethal next turn. So one of our dragons will get eaten here, but it is a noble sacrifice. Trying to get our opponent's life total as low as it possibly can go here, so that like a teaming Dragonstorm can push through 2 points of damage. Opponent is back up to 3. Yeah. Alright, we get there in game 1. Alright, hopping into game number 2, we go first here. I do think we're going to keep this. We'll kind of have an eye out for a Plains, hopefully. I think we're going to play our Stormshriek Feral on 2, possibly discarding to try and get that Plains. Let's see if we can get it here. We're going to discard a Mountain. We don't quite get it, which is not fantastic, but it's okay. Devoted Duelist is the play from our opponent, so maybe a more aggressively slanted deck. We kind of draw our planes there in our Jeskai Devotee. Hopefully they don't know how much we need that and they don't kill it. I'm going to play a Fortress Kinguard here. And we are not going to block. So next turn we can possibly flash in our Anafinza, which I do actually think is what we're going to do. So they are going to play a little bit aggressively here with the Coordinated Maneuver. I think that we are most interested in just making another 2/2 for blocking sake. They might have another removal spell, which would be a little aggressive. They don't. Alright, so we've got options now. I think we're just going to play out the Quarry Mountain Stalwart and pass. I think slowing them down as much as we can is going to be good for us. The Dalkovan encampment is pretty good. We'll see if they don't attack with that. Having a first striker on defense just feels really strong against quick Boros decks. It would be also nice if we drew an untapped land. We can go Narset's Rebuke in to focus the mind and just get a lot of value that way. And we'll also trigger the Quarry Mountain Stalwart if we do that. So that's kind of the goal for our next turn here. So our opponent activated their Dalkovan encampment, but they can't really attack unless there's a 1-mana trick in red that I'm unfamiliar with. Awesome. So we draw our untapped land, which is fantastic. We are going to play our Narset's Rebuke into the Devoted Duelist. And then we're going to play our Focus the Mind, which is great. I think now we are just going to throw back the Tranquil Cove, and then we're going to attack it everywhere. I'm fine trading a token for one of theirs. Next turn we can play our Teeming Dragonstorm and get a couple of blockers out there. We're going to play the... Yeah, I think that we're just going to keep making spirits. And then they're going to Snatic Snare our Anafinza, I believe. But we're just going to kill their Fortress Kinguard. Our opponent is not playing correctly, which is okay with us. We're just going to play our... I think we're going to start by attacking here. And we're just going to play our Teeming Dragonstorm, and then we're going to hold up our Humbling Elder for their turn. I think we're actually going to keep holding up the Humbling Elder here. Now we're just going to play the... I actually kind of want to type down their Dragonback Lancer and get aggressive. Yeah, let's do that. Because that way they have to block with a token. Alright, we get there again. It looks like we will go first. We can't quite keep this. As much as I want to try to with the Jeskai Monument, we are going to do the smart thing and mulligan here. I will keep this hand. I think we're going to get rid of the Dispelling Exhale just because the odds of us playing it on curve are not super likely. And I'm probably going to just cast the Stormshriek Feral for its Omen cost here. Yeah, we're going to do that. Awesome, so next turn we can play the Roiling Dragonstorm. I would assume they're going to go get the Globe here, which is fine by me. We are going to just play the Roiling Dragonstorm here. And we are going to discard... I think we're going to get rid of the... I kind of like the Effortless Master. I am going to get rid of the Effortless Master. I'm just not a huge fan of it in our hand currently. And I do want that plane so we can play an Anafinza. So our opponent is set up for a lot of different kinds of dragons over there. Looks like they do have a 1 mana effect. But we are just going to play a Teeming Dragonstorm here. And hope we can get some value by playing a dragon eventually. Alright, so we are going to start by playing a Devoted Duelist here. And then we're just going to play a Focus the Mind, dealing a point of damage, and then I think we're just going to discard the Jeskai Monument here. So next turn we can play the Dirger Island Dragon and pick up both of our cards here. Aegis Sculptor is not a card I have seen all that often. Currently don't have any cards in their graveyard. Into a Teamer Devotee. And actually, instead of that, I think I'm just going to play the Narset's Rebuke now. And that way we can play out the Effortless Master as a 6/5. It's nice I got exiled too, so the Aegis Sculptor does not get any value on it yet. And then next turn we can play our Dirger Island Dragon. And then hopefully get more value than they do at the top end of their deck here. Moraine River Region is the play from our opponent. It is super strong. I don't know how we beat that, if I'm being totally honest. So we will play a Tranquil Cove here. I do think we still need to play the Island Dragon. We are going to be taking 7 next turn, which doesn't feel great. But I don't know what else we're going to do. This card is so fun. So good. We just don't have a lot of answers for it, unfortunately. Glacial Dragon Hunt is close if it were defending, but that's not quite going to do it here. Let's discard the Anafinza is not going to be doing much for us here. And then I think we just kind of have to play the Storm Shriek Feral. And then we're not going to block. We're going to hope that they don't have any pump effects. And then next turn, we can double block, pump our Storm Shriek Feral, kill the Moraine River Region. It's not a great plan, but it is all we've got. Saga Wildling is not fantastic. So I think we have to block the Sculptor here, or else we die. Sarkhan's Resolve would have gotten us there, but they probably just killed the Flyer. We're still probably dead here. So I want to keep up the Humbling Elder. Our problem is we still are going to die because of the Sagu Wildling now. It's only -2, -0, so we're kind of dead either way. Let's do that. This is an instant. Okay, so we can do this. We can do this. We just have to believe. No attacks, and turn. Believe in the double block. Okay. Good things can happen to good people. We can win this game. We're going to play this. On this. We're going to pump our creature. Come on. Resolve, 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 resolve. We're going to double block. We're going to Humbling Elder. Come on! Why not us? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Resolve. Resolve. Oh no, what are they waiting on?
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
It resolves. Okay. 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 Everything's fine. Nobody panic. Holy cow. How are we not dead? Okay. We have got 8 mana to spend. I think that we have to start getting somewhat aggressive the other way. I think we're just going to attack with the Dirger Island Dragon here. And then I'm just going to play out the... Actually, I'm going to do the Glacial Dragon Hunt followed by a Effortless Master here. So I don't think we want the Jeskai Brushmaster. And then we'll play our Effortless Master. So they might have a Boulderborn Dragon they can go get here, but I think the goal is that we can block it with either the... We'll play land. Either the Storm Shriek Feral or the Dirger Island Dragon eventually, and this sets us up to have decent attacks after this. This game has been insane. I thought we were so dead. We still might be dead. So Naga Fleshcrafter is certainly good here. Copying the Dirger Island Dragon. So I think that means we have to leave up both of these dragons. But we can still attack with the Effortless Master, which doesn't feel horrible. And then we can also keep getting value off of the Roiling Dragonstorm here. So let's just attack with the Effortless Master. We just gotta play defensively, because if they have any number of tricks or whatnot, we only have 1 health to play with. And then next turn we can make a bit more of an aggressive attack. Here we will take the Clarion Conqueror. And then I think we're going to get rid of the... We're going to tap this to get rid of the Dragonstorm Forecaster, so next turn we can be close to a lethal attack. Okay. Okay. Now we just have to hold. We just have to hold. Come on! So it looks like they have a removal spell, and they're trying to decide what to remove. Yep. Book to Surveil 2. So we have to block here. I am going to start by just attacking. We have 11 exactly. Let's go! What a sick game! What a sick game. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe we came back and won that game. We're going to keep this. I think if we draw an island, it gets a lot better, and I don't mind playing a duelist or a forebear on 2. Perfect. And we get our island there, so we've got access to all of our colors, which feels great. And then some pretty fun synergies between the Anafenza and the Furious forebear here. So I do think we want to play that out first. And then next turn, potentially we can double spell with the Duelist and the Humbling Elder, which would shrink down the Nightblade Brigade. Would feel pretty good. So we're going to go for that here. So we're just going to keep our creature alive at the moment, which feels fine. And then this can kind of stay back and block any tokens they might have. Looks like they're just going to equip here and hold back the attacks. So I think what we're going to do is just play out the Jeskai Devotee and then hold up the Dispelling Exhale here. And then we can try and counter whatever they end up playing this turn. Then we can play the Teeming Dragonstorm or the Anafenzers in the next turn. So we are more than happy countering that. No dragons yet. Now I do think we're just going to play out the Teeming Dragonstorm, get as much value as we can there. And I don't think we want to start attacking quite yet. Just building out the board as much as we can. Drawing a dragon would be a great draw here. Narrow Heart of the Storm is good. We'll see if they have any haste creatures to get that maximum payoff. So we don't quite draw a dragon here. Kind of in a tough spot. I don't think we can really play out the Anafenza. I don't think we're going to be attacking with the forebear here. When we could try to kind of get some counters on the Anafenza, but I think we just have to hold off, sadly. Loxodon Battle Priest is quite good. We'll see if they go for a bit of an aggressive attack here, or if they just attack through the skies. Yeah. I think we'll just gradually lose some life here, unfortunately. So the Conqueror is good. Our Anafenza gets worse here. We just are kind of stonewalled at the moment. So depending on how aggressive they are, we actually might have to put ourselves into a position where we're attacking next turn, just because we're really on a 3-turn clock here. And there's not a ton of answers in our deck for this dragon. Yeah. We're probably not getting there here. You know, I just don't think we quite have enough here to overcome this. We'll just keep making 2/2s. We'll see how aggressive they get with their attacks here. Yeah, just gonna continue on the 2-turn clock. And they're gonna have some flying tokens next turn as well. Yeah, nothing we can do here. That's alright. Opponent is going first. We do not have a plains. I'm debating on discarding a card and drawing 2 cards, and then hopefully getting it. Let's gamble. Hopefully we can draw a plains in what'll be 4 draw steps. Kishless Skimmer is quite good. We're just going to play out the Jeskai Monument and ensure we get that plains. Because next turn I do want to play out the Clarion Conqueror. It's kind of block the Skimmer's attacks. It really feels like they have a counter. If this does get countered, it's not the absolute end of the world. We still play this Dragonstorm on 3, and then the Feral on... I'm sorry, on 4 and then 5. So that's kind of my logic there. I'm not totally sure I understand that. Let's just play out the Dragonstorm. Okay. Not sure what our opponent has. And we're not going to attack at the moment. Alright. Maybe just a lot of expensive cards in our opponent's hand. Ice-Ridge Serpent is good. They will bounce a token here. But now we're going to get a little bit more aggressive and start attacking with our 2 dragons. Next turn we can play the Dragonstorm, or the Duelist into the Dragonstorm. Looks like our opponent is not going to play that as a dragon, but at its... Interesting. That is concerning. Ureni is the other card in their hand. Okay. Well, that is a card. I don't know how we're going to beat that. With aggression, possibly? And maybe it's just pure out aggression is how we beat that. I'm still not entirely sure that's going to be enough. But we'll try. Hopefully they don't draw a mountain here, but I feel like they probably got their source. Yep. Alright. So we're going to take... Everything's going to die besides the master, maybe. Or we'll just kill those 2. That works too. Yeah, not entirely sure what we do differently here. Ureni is fantastic. From white and black. Even still, that doesn't get it done. I think we have to do something like this. Even if we attack there, we're just losing a creature. And then we can try and stay alive with the monument here, and just kind of blocking. Problem is we can't block it with our 1/1 birds. Yeah, we're just totally dead here. A good effort. We're running into some heat now. Holy cow, our opponent is doing everything. Alright, get us out of here. Urini is incredible. If they didn't find that mountain, I really feel like we would have won that game, but, you know, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Alright, so we get to go first here. We are missing some lands. But I think if we play the Duelist on 2, and then we draw a Plains, it's pretty decent. This might be some wishful thinking with this keep, but I just think going down to 6 is, we're not going to get much better than this. And there's probably some Plains on the top. Mountain on top also works, so we can get some damage in here. Channel Dragonfire is the play from the opponent. So we are going to probably next turn play out a sad Effortless Master. It is still a 4/3 with Vigilance and Menace. And then hopefully the turn after we can go Narset's Rebuke into Focus the Mind. And get some damage through that way if we draw another land. So let's do that. And then turn after we can go Rebuke into Focus the Mind and hopefully stabilize a bit here. Looks like our opponent is playing Jeskai as well. So if they don't play anything, we're actually probably going to hold up the Narset's Rebuke here, and then we'll just play it on their turn. I feel like they might have a counter spell or something like that in hand here. So we're just going to pass to them. So I do think it's worth it for us to double spell here. Oh my gosh. So our spell fizzles, we don't get the Inoffenza. Ooh. You just don't have them having the Sun Pearl Kirin in hand right there too often. That is a brutal turn there. Because now they're going to get the Osseous Exhale back as well, which does not feel great. Next turn we'll probably just focus the mind and try and draw some more action. Sipsiga Appraiser is good. Looks like they were holding back a Plains for something. Maybe going to get a land here. So here we are going to play a Inoffenza into a Focus the Mind. We're going to not play around counter magic, just because I feel like we have to do something to kind of make a change in this game here. And us trying to pick off a Sipsiga Appraiser would be a really good start to that. So let's do that, and then we will focus the mind. Hopefully draw some action here. We will put back the Tranquil Cove. So now hopefully our Calarian Conqueror can hold up decently well. We'll play the Dragonstorm first so we can draw the other one. I do think we want to discard the Forebear for just maximum value here. And then we'll play out our Clarion Conqueror. And we will attack. Can't block either of their flyers here. So looks like they are going to play the Monastery Messenger. I assume they'll go get the Osseous Exile here and put it on top of their library. Salt Road Pack Beast is good. They can then draw that card. I do think we're going to block. It's not fantastic. Do think we're going to create a 2/2 here. And then we'll just kind of dig for some answers here, hopefully. Neither one of those is quite an answer. I think we're actually going to discard the Humbling Elder here. And then we'll just play our Effortless Master. Does not feel fantastic. I would assume they'll play the Channeling Dragonfire on the Anaphinza first, and then they'll play the Osseous Exile on the Effortless Master if I attempt to block the Salt Road Pack Beast. But who's to say? So we really do need to draw some sort of answer to their flyers here to have any chance. We are on a 2-turn clock. Or 1-turn clock now, really. So that will keep us alive for a second. We actually will attack with the Effortless Master here. So we could Osseous Exile, but I think we're fine just letting it die. So I think we do want to create another Spirit, and then we actually will return this to our hand. Next turn, potentially we could double spell with a Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Just try and stay alive as best we can. Oh gosh, Sage of the Skies now, yeah, we're so dead. We've run into a lot of good rares here at the tail end of this draft today, which is all good. We've had our fair share of good ones as well. But we are not beating Sage of the Skies today. It is close, but it is not quite enough here. Let's make them see it. Surely they do. They also can do a Channel Dragonfire to the face. Not a lot we can do with 1 red mana here. So they do indeed see it. And we go down here. Unfortunate. I think this deck was good. I think when it curved out, it was fantastic. But other than that, was not phenomenal. Up with a 3-3 record today. which is not exactly what we were looking for, but we had some really good games in there early. That third game was super, super fun. So for those watching, I'll be giving away a Tarkir Dragonstorm pack. I will ship it to you. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Where did this deck fall short? Maybe it was just running into a Ureni, but I thought this deck was decent. Let me know your thoughts down below. Appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time.